Directions into the World, where many of them now occupy positions of trust and usefulness. Several years after the incidents referred to, the subject was unexpectedly recalled to the author's recollection by an evening visit from a young man apparently fresh from the work of a foundry, who explained that he was now an employer of labor and a thriving man, and he was pleased to remember with gratitude the words spoken in all honesty to him and to his fellow pupils years before, and even to attribute some measure of his success in life to the endeavors which he had made to work up to their spirit. p. 12. The author's personal interest having in this way been attracted to the subject of self-help, he was accustomed to add to the memoranda from which he had addressed these young men, and to note down occasionally in his leisure evening moments, after the hours of business, the results of such reading, observation, and experience of life, as he conceived to bear upon it. One of the most prominent illustrations cited in his earlier addresses was that of George Stephenson, the engineer, and the original interest of the subject, as well as the special facilities and opportunities which the author possessed for illustrating Mr. Stevenson's life and career, induced him to prosecute it at his leisure, and eventually to publish his biography. The present volume is written in a similar spirit, as it has been similar in its origin. The illustrative sketches of character introduced are, however, necessarily less elaborately treated, being busts rather than full-length portraits, and in many of the cases, only some striking feature has been noted, the lives of individuals, as indeed of nations, often concentrating their luster and interest in a few passages. Such as the book is, the author now leaves it in the hands of the reader, in the hope that the lessons of industry, perseverance, and self-culture, which it contains, will be found useful and instructive, as well as generally interesting. 1 Chapter I. Self-help, national and individual. The worth of a state, in the long run, is the worth of the individuals composing it. J. S. Mill. We put too much faith in systems, and look too little to men. B. Disraeli. Heaven helps those who help themselves is a well-tried maxim, embodying in a small compass the results of vast human experience. The spirit of self-help is the root of all genuine growth in the individual, and, exhibited in the lives of many, it constitutes the true source of national vigor and strength. Help from without is often enfeebling in its effects, but help from within invariably invigorates. Whatever is done for men or classes, to a certain extent takes away the stimulus and necessity of doing for themselves, and where men are subjected to over-guidance and over-government, the inevitable tendency is to render them comparatively helpless. Even the best institutions can give a man no active help. Perhaps the most they can do is to leave him free to develop himself and improve his individual condition. But in all times men have been prone to believe